What sticks out about those days when you look back? What are some of the vivid memories that you remember of just that, adventure and chaos of those early years?
Well, back in those days, you pretty well, unless you were with the 18 bands such as Monroe and Jimmy and Jim Jesse and all people like that, you were pretty much, if you worked, you had to work in clubs, pretty much, and tour, go out and work, once in a while, but I think the thing was that for me, even though I had worked a day job and play music at night, 3 or 4 nights a week.
What was your day job?
Well, I worked a host of different jobs. I worked a lot of stuff. The last day job I had was I worked for me and J.D. Crowe worked in Lexington, Kentucky in the shipping department for Wilson Industrial Supply, and we sent orders out all over the state of Kentucky, and they order nuts, bolts, pipe fittings, high pressure hoses. The list goes on and on. Stuff that they would order, and our job was to pack it up and ship it to them. And after that, when we got the gig at the Holiday Inn, we started 6 nights a week, and we couldn't keep that up. So we talked. Crowe talked to me into cutting back to 5 nights a week. We would work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday
in Lexington.
Yeah, and we worked in a Holiday Inn lounge, and did 4 shows a night. And so that really we were able to give up the day jobs then, And, so I did that a while. But after doing that myself for 22 months, I got a little restless.
Yeah.
I told Crowe, I said, man, I feel like I'm punching the clock, and that's what I don't want to do.
That was the point of leaving the day job, to not punch the clock.
Yeah. But all in all, though, the thing was, it was the I remember the excitement of thinking about how we could, be a touring band and be, somebody to be reckoned with, I guess, and we came to be. We did an album, and when Red Allen was working with us, we did an album to sell in the lounge called the Bluegrass Holiday, and it's for a little old local label, and we didn't think too much about it. And Dave Freeman, who owns Rebel Records now, had a mail order house in New York City that you can buy records. He liked old time and bluegrass music and stuff like that, and he found out some way that he got a hold of that recording, and people started buying it, and then they got to wanting to see us on the circuit, and we couldn't go because we were working 5 nights a week, and we couldn't go far if we worked a day.
Yeah.
But eventually we finally had to start doing that because people wanted to see us, and so we were able to break out of the pack. And from there, I told Crowe, I said, well, this is it. I'm gonna make this thing work, or I'm gonna give it up and get a job and forget about this. I'm not gonna try to do both.
Well,
I didn't feel like
as you said, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you had mentioned the Osborne brothers. I interviewed Bobby a couple weeks ago because this year is the 50th anniversary of Rocky Top being recorded. And I was curious what you remember most about first hearing that song, and then what the legacy of that song is 50 years later, being someone from East Tennessee.
Well, right off, the first time I heard it, I was in Lexington. It was 1967, sometime fairly early in the year, and there was a radio station over in Winchester, Virginia, that played country and bluegrass, and they just mixed it in. They didn't, well, here's your bluegrass song for an hour or whatever. They just, they played it all. And the one named Tip Sharp was a local DJ there and had quite a following. Pretty good musician himself, But anyway, he played Rocky Top, and I thought, man, what a song! And of course, the Bob and Sonny back in they were getting the job done.
What does that song mean to you as someone from East Tennessee?
Well, for me, it's always been more about the song itself rather than the fact that it has come to be known as the state song along with the Tennessee Waltz. And Boonlow Bryant wrote a lot of songs for the Osborne Brothers. He also wrote a lot of songs for the Everly Brothers too. And,
I think he wrote "Bye Bye Love."
He wrote, "Wake Up Little Susie," "Bye Bye Love," "All I Have to Do Is Dream," I think. And, a host of others. But anyway, but he was a great writer.
What about structurally?
Sorry?
Well, structurally, what do you like about that song?
Well, what I liked about the song was the fact that Bobby Osborne could sing the fire out of it. I never heard nobody else that could sing that song like Bob Osborne. That's what I liked about it.
Well, my last question is, you've spent a life touring and performing and traveling the world and interacting with people. I was curious what a life as a performer has taught you about what it means to be a human being.
Well, the good part about being a touring artist is the fact that I've met an awful lot of nice people. I found out, Garrett, that there's overall, and I've been to all 50 states, and I've been in 49 foreign countries. And even though there might have been a language barrier, I found out there was nice people anywhere you go. And I have met far more nice people in all the places I've been than I have people that were not so pleasant. And so I've tried to be as real as I can be with people. If I shake your hand and I smile at you, it's because I genuinely mean it. It's not an act. My dad taught me when I was a young fella. He said, if you shake a man's hand, you shake it. Let him know that you mean that it's sincere. You don't give him a dish rag hand, he said. So, and those things have always stayed with me, and so I did some tours. They called them back in those days Goodwill Ambassador Tours, or Goodwill Tours for the USIA back, and they would send us places where that our relations were maybe not country-wise, were not as stable as we would like to have them. And the thing that they told us when we would get ready to go on tours was that just act as though you belong there. Abide by the customs and the people there. Don't make waves, and you'll be fine. And I never had any trouble anywhere. I just always fit. And if I was in Lima, Peru, or I was in Sana'a, North Yemen, wherever it was, I just tried to act as though that I had lived there all my life. I didn't. A lot of the different countries' customs, I didn't really understand, but the fact was, I'm a guest in their country, so I should respect their way of life. I shouldn't expect them to change for me.